Greetings, one and all. Good to see you, Eric. Well, I hope you all enjoyed your holiday, enjoyed your weekend. And I thought it would be a good time to uh, talk to people about cleaning out some of the food they consume. We have a tendency to overeat on holidays, especially Christmas, Thanksgiving, 4th of July, Labor Day, where there's barbecuing going on, sometime on birthdays. So I thought it'd be good to give people a little advice on what would be wise to do. Now, this is not medical advice. Okay. If you are having any medical difficulties with your digestion or your stomach, go see professionals. Okay. Go see professionals. This information is for people that's not sick, you know. You just feel like you ate a lot. Maybe you want to work out for the new year. You want to get off to a good start for your New Year's resolution. And so this is just advice that really is not any type of medical advice. You don't have to really do anything medical. This is just basic eating. There's ways you could eat to help your digestive system. And we're going to talk about that because it is good to, make sure that your system is constantly flushing correctly. And it's something you want to pay attention to. Now, stomach cleansing generally refers to supporting your digestive system's natural ability to eliminate waste. This can be effectively and safely achieved through sustainable lifestyle changes rather than extreme detox methods, which lack scientific evidence and could be harmful. I don't promote the radical detox solutions. I don't trust them. Without a doctor there to tell you, to me, the radical detox potions and things, I don't. I think they could be dangerous because everybody's body's not the same, and so I would just suggest us a natural way to clean yourself out just by changing what you consume. You can look at your food and you can tell which food is easy to pass through and which food is not necessarily. So like if you're eating cheese, bread, pastas, meats, you know that's doesn't have any liquid to it too much. That's a drier food, and so uh, it would pass slower than a more moist foods, right? So the vegetables and the fruits would pass quicker than the bread and the cheese and the potatoes. Now, once again, this is not medical advice, but this is advice. Now, recommended natural methods to get that stomach nice and clean, to get that colon nice and clean. Some people want to do that because you want to work out. You're trying to get your stomach, some of the fat off your stomach, so you feel like if you can, get your digestion to work better, that will help. So the healthiest ways to support your digestive system and promote regularity include hydration. Drink plenty of water. Now, most people that are exercise a lot, they say drink a half a gallon a day, but take your time. They say do not drink a gallon. Now, some people suggest to drink a gallon. Me, I don't think you need a gallon of water a day. Some days you might drink a gallon if you're doing something in a lot of hot weather, where you're perspiring a lot. But other than that, you should be fine with a half a gallon, a little bit over a half a gallon a day, especially if you're eating fruits, which will also give you hydration. So, hydration, drink plenty of water, as it is crucial for digestion and helps keep stools soft and easy to pass. Drinking warm water or water with lemon first thing in the morning can be particularly beneficial for stimulating bowel movements. Like right now, I'm drinking lemon with some maple syrup in it. I squeezed 2 lemons in here and made me some lemonade. I consume lemons and I consume limes quite a bit because it helps me drink more water, puts more moisture, and then it's always in there cleansing. I'm getting the vitamin C, the pulp. So I'm sure the pulp is in there scrubbing me down, right? High fiber diet. Fiber adds bulk to stool and supports regular bowel movements, which help your body eliminate waste effectively. Sources include fruits, vegetables, whole grains, beans, nuts, and legumes, right? Dark leafy greens like spinach and are particularly helpful. Probiotics and prebiotics. Probiotics are beneficial bacteria that promote a healthy gut microbiome, while prebiotics, which is specialized plant fibers, feed these bacteria. Regular physical activity. Exercise helps stimulate intestinal activity and promotes the natural movement of food through your digestive system, reducing issues like bloating and constipation. Mindful eating, chewing food thoroughly, and eating slowly can enhance digestion and reduce stress on the gut. Now, the first one, exercise. Of course, it makes sense that if you're exercising and you're moving, then that movement is going to make everything move. And so that's going to loosen up your bowels and help you get food off of your stomach and out of your colon. For sure. For sure. And then the fruits and vegetables, right? The whole grains, the beans, the nuts, the legumes, the dark leafy green vegetables, and the spinach will get in there and help break down whatever's in there. Because a lot of times you've eaten things that might just be too thick, might be the way to put it. too dry, too thick. It might need some more food to come through your digestive system to scrape it out, to clean it out, to help push out the old food. So, yeah, exercise helps stimulate intestinal activity and promotes the natural movement of food through your digestive system, reducing issues like bloating and constipation. And then, of course, if you chew your food more, that's less work that your intestines has to do. The more you break it down, the more of your saliva mixes with it, the softer it is. Of course, softer is going to be easier to pass than dry and hard. So taking your time and chewing your food well is surely a benefit. Now, caution regarding extreme cleanses. I don't promote extreme cleanses. I don't think they're good. I don't think they're necessary unless you go to the hospital and some professional doctor or specialist suggests it. So many commercial cleanses and detox products, including certain laxative herbal teas or supplements, often lack scientific evidence for general health benefits and can pose risk. Potential side effects: overuse of laxatives or extreme fasting can lead to dehydration, electrolyte imbalance, nutrient deficiency, and disruption of the natural gut microbiome. Professional procedures: medical colon irrigation or cleanses are sometimes performed by healthcare professionals for specific medical reasons, such as before a colonoscopy, but are not recommended for routine health maintenance. For persistent digestive issues, it's essential and very important to consult a healthcare professional to determine the underlying cause and the most appropriate course of action. You have to go to the people that are experts. You can't just be guessing if you're having any type of problem. You can't be guessing. Go see an expert, okay? Now, if you ate a lot of turkey and dressing and all of this, right now the best thing to do this week is to put something in there that's going to soften up everything and make sure that you pass that as fast as possible to get yourself as clean as possible. That will help keep some of the weight from coming off and prevent other problems that could arise by you not being able to pass that food out your system. Now, usually for holidays like Thanksgiving, people eat a lot of meat, they eat potatoes, and they eat some vegetables mostly. A little fruit, but mostly meat and some vegetables and some potatoes and things like that. So I would suggest to just do vegetables for a couple days. If you got to have a little meat or something, just make sure it's way more vegetables than that. So I would suggest after vegetables, if you might be a little constipated, I wouldn't suggest switching like right to fruit. I would suggest Wet vegetables, vegetables that are wet, moist, like how spinach is when you steam it sometimes. Um, Broccoli is all right, but I would prefer something a little with a little more liquid to it, right? Uh, Beans would be good if they're not dry. You know, the beans are sitting in moisture would be good. I would go that route a day or two before I switch to the fruit. So you get on Monday. Monday, I would do some nice moist vegetables like bok choy, maybe a vegetable soup. A vegetable soup would be excellent, right? A vegetable soup would be just perfect. That'll get in there and make sure that you get that stuff out as quick as possible so it won't damage your colon, so it won't begin to rot or cause issues. So that's what I would suggest first. Vegetables aid colon cleansing through their high fiber content, which promotes regular bowel movements, and their antioxidants, which protect colon cells. To support a healthy colon, eat a variety of vegetables like dark leafy greens, like spinach or kale, cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cauliflower. Make sure if you're trying to clean out after the holiday, let it get a little more softer than maybe you would do, right? And root vegetables like carrots, sweet potatoes, and drink plenty of water. So the thing, same with the carrots and the sweet potatoes. Get them as soft as you can tolerate. That way you'll still eat them, right? Because what you're trying to do, you're trying to put some moisture in there to help clean you out, okay? And drink plenty of water. But you can also just make you some lemonade. Make sure the pulp is in there. Make you some lemonade, drink some lemonade. You should be fine. You should be fine with lemonade and limeade. You're still getting them water. You're getting a lemonade and a limeade. So you are getting a little fruit, but you're not actually getting uh, uh, the fruit like the meat of the fruit. You're just getting a liquid of the fruit. Or save the lemonade and the limeade till you get on the fruit and tea. Drink the tea with the vegetables. Make you some tea. Tea is always great. Okay. Make you a tea for 2 days. Monday and Tuesday, drink tea. You're going to still get plenty of water and you're going to get the benefits of whatever type of tea you drink. Peppermint, spearmint, your choice. But tea would be excellent, right? Then after those 2 days, I would suggest, now once again, this is just a suggestion. This is not medical advice. But after a big holiday, that's what I would suggest. A couple of days with some vegetables, and then the next days, you don't have to eat fruit all day, but have some fruit for breakfast. If you can, for breakfast and lunch. And the best fruits for colon cleansing are those high in fiber and water, such as apples. That's why they tell you an apple a day keeps the doctor away. So apples would be great to snack on after the holidays. Pears would be great. Berries would be great. Bananas are always good. But the apples, pears, and berries would fit this better based on the fact you're trying to clean out. So those aid in regular bowel movements. Now, papaya is great. papaya is like to me, is one of the fruits that really does the best to help the stomach and the digestion and the colon. So papaya would be great. It's also beneficial to its enzyme papain, which helps break down food. Staying hydrated by drinking plenty of water is crucial, and adding lemon to water can help stimulate bile production and digestion. So that's a great idea. Add some lemon, okay? Now, overeating, especially when it becomes a regular habit, can lead to numerous short-term discomforts and serious long-term health complications. Short-term effects. Occasional overeating can cause immediate physical symptoms as the digestive system is put under strain. So you can have digestive discomfort. This includes the feelings of uncomfortable fullness, bloating, gas, and stomach pain as the stomach expands beyond its normal size. Heartburn and acid reflux. Excess food can force stomach acid back up into the esophagus, causing a burning sensation. Lethargy and fatigue. The body redirects energy to the digestive process, which can lead to feelings of sluggishness, drowsiness, and tiredness. Nausea. Eating too much can sometimes result in feelings of sickness or the urge to vomit. Elevated blood sugars. A large influx of calories and carbohydrates can cause a rapid spike in blood glucose levels, followed by a potential crash. So you have to be careful, okay? You got to take this stuff serious. Now, long-term dangers. Habitual overeating significantly increases the risk of developing chronic physical and mental health conditions. Weight gain and obesity, constantly consuming more calories than the body burns, leads to weight gain. Obesity is a major risk factor for numerous other serious health issues. Type 2 diabetes. Regular overeating can lead to insulin resistance and metabolic disorders, raising the risk for type 2 diabetes. Cardiovascular disease. Cardiovascular disease. The increased weight and potential for high blood pressure, high cholesterol, high triglycerides put significant strain on the heart, increasing the risk of heart disease, heart attack, and stroke. Gallbladder and digestive issues. Chronic overeating can lead to ongoing digestive problems such as indigestion and gallstones. Certain types of cancers. I didn't know that. Carrying excess body weight increased the risk of several cancers, including colon, breast, and kidney cancer. Wow. Sleep and respiratory problems. Weight can contribute to sleep apnea and other sleep disorders, as well as respiratory conditions like asthma, joint and mobility issues. The extra weight places added stress on joints, which can lead to conditions like osteoarthritis and chronic pain. And then mental health issues. Overeating can be linked to psychological distress, including guilt, shame, low self esteem, depression, anxiety, and social isolation. So you see, this is not no joke, but I know, and like I said again, this is not medical advice. This is just advice for you to really look into uh, cleansing after you have a big holiday. If you put a lot of food in, make sure you get it out, right? If you go, you oh man, I ate more. Boy, that food was good, mom. Oh, that was great. And I stuffed myself. Cool. The next day, work to get it out. Work to get it out. Cut back on some of that stuff you ate there, especially the starches, the potatoes, the bread, and the meat. You could still eat a little bit of meat if you want to. I don't advise it, but you got to do what you want to do. Going plant based is it's a self choice. But you want to go heavier on wet. Think wet. I just ate a lot of food. I need some lubrication so that I can hurry up and get this food out of my body. So think in terms of lubrication. That way, when you look at cheese, you say, oh, no lubrication. Bread, that's not lubrication. Meat, that's not lubrication. Okay, I might need some fruit. I might need some really wet vegetables. And as I said earlier, the best thing that you could do is make you a nice soup. Make you a nice vegetable soup. Anytime you go to a big barbecue or something like that, the next day, make you a nice soup. All you're trying to do is put some moisture in there to loosen up the colon, to make sure that the stomach's got enough lubrication to pass the food out of there. You don't want it, right, to be in your stomach a long time. You don't want it to harden up in your stomach. You said, P, I am trying very hard. I don't eat beef, pork anymore, but I've been off a year. I'm going on 2 years now for the new year, P. I want to stop eating chicken. Just take your time, include some fish or something else that breaks down, and take your time, and it will happen naturally. You got to take your time. In the meantime, the best thing you could do is add more vegetables with it. So the best thing to do if you're trying to go vegan or vegetarian and you're still eating chicken and you're still eating fish, the best thing to do is increase your fruit and vegetable intake. That's the best thing to do because that will slowly get you used to eating more of that. Don't wait until you actually quit fish or chicken or turkey. Begin to eat more vegetables anyway. So like, okay, I know I'm going to eat some chicken today, but for lunch, I'm just going to eat vegetables. Or I'm just going to eat fruit. That way, you're still getting your chicken or whatever, but you're cutting the amount, and you're training yourself, and still satisfying that urge. So instead of satisfying that urge all day, you could just satisfy that urge once a day, and the rest of the time just be like vegetarian or vegan. And that should work great, Michael. That should work great. Just increase the fruits and vegetables. That's all. That should work just fine. But keep me informed, and I'll be able to guide you through it. I remember the day, Michael. I remember the day I stopped eating fish. Oh my God, it was so hard. Oh, I was driving down Ashland, going north from the south side, and when I got right there to 103rd, I would always go to Docks on 87th East, and so I'm trying to go vegan, vegetarian, vegan. I'm driving and I'm thinking, boy, I need to go to Doc's and get me a fish wedge sandwich. I'm driving, boom, oh boy, 99th, 95th. So now I'm leaving 95th. I'm headed, if I get to 87th and make that right turn, I'm going to Doc's. And I remember getting to 87th and I just kept going. And I never ate fish again. And let me tell you something I just personally believe. I personally believe that when the body begins to flush that stuff out, your craving goes up higher. And I believe one reason your craving would be so high because you're about to kick it like a heroin addict. So I believe one reason my urge was so high to make that right and go get me a fish sandwich is because the last little bit of fish was coming out of my body and they wanted me to replenish it. Because for some reason, when I didn't go then, I never craved it again. I never craved it after that. So that's why I got that conclusion from. I said that must have been the last, that must have been it coming out my system. That's the only thing I could think of. What y'all think? Why would I crave it like that and then don't go and never crave it again? So I believe that's when it's coming out your system. Because when you fast, even when you're vegan, you do that as your body is purifying itself. I remember being in Hawaii in the mountains, and we were fasting, and we started talking about food, and we looked up. We had been talking about food for about an hour and a half. I think we all agree. Unwilling, we didn't even pay no attention to it because we hadn't ate in about maybe 4, 5, 6 days. And we was just up there talking about food. I finally caught it. I said, y'all, we hungry. That we just fast, that food is coming out of our body and it's calling us like, hey. So I think the craving, means you're getting there. But always take your time. If you're trying to go vegan, you're trying to go, always take your time. And always increase your fruits and vegetables before you get off your chicken and fish and stuff. That's a help. Don't wait till you kick that and then try to become a better plant eater. Start doing that while you're still eating whatever. Okay, so ladies, brothers and sisters, men and women out there, make your other food healthier. So in other words, right now, if I'm still on chicken and fish, what I would need to do is make everything else more healthier. Okay, I'm cooking kale because we don't be eating kale and stuff like that. So I'm gonna start while I still got my chicken and fish. I'm gonna start experimenting with more fruits. I'm gonna start experimenting with more vegetables. so that I'm like a vegan that eats chicken. The rest of my food is much better than how I used to eat. So get the rest of your food better while you're trying to kick the other food. That would be my advice. Because one reason that like my grandparents and them, the reason they were so healthy and the reason they wasn't as sick as us, they ate meat, but it was the ratio. It was the ratio how they ate. They was heavy on the vegetables. They wasn't really heavy on the meat. When I grew up, we didn't eat a lot of meat. To be honest with you, I didn't start eating a lot of meat till like high school age. But when we was young, your plate would be like only 1/5 meat because you got your corn on the cob, you got your string beans like that. It would be other things on the plate besides just meat and bread and potatoes. So the ratios was different. So people didn't get as sick. My generation, though, the ratios got messed up. We just eating a burger. Burger ain't got no vegetables too much on it. I'm burger and fries. I'm lucky to be alive. I'm burger and fry and throw the coleslaw out the window. That's a shame. I ain't even want the coleslaw. I just wanted meat and bread and fries and a soda. Boy, I'm telling you, boy, I'm so blessed to find out it changed. Hey, Beefy, I wouldn't have a chance. Man, if I didn't change the way I was eating, man, and I'm 67 right now, man, I know I'll be sick. Ain't no way I wouldn't be sick. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. I was eating horrible. So now, here you go. Now, what you can do this week, have a grapefruit in the morning. Have a grapefruit. That's another thing. Back in the day, our parents would cut a grapefruit, put a little sugar on it, and we would have that before we have our cereal. So have a grapefruit. Another thing you can do to help yourself. Get some fresh garlic and maybe cut up a few pieces. If you don't really like garlic, just cut up a little bit so you can't really know it's there. So that garlic can get inside your system and begin to fight in case, if any type of bacteria or parasites or whatever, you can have that garlic to try to help clean your blood, help with your digestion and all that, right? Chop up a little garlic in your noodles, maybe, or in your spaghetti or in your pasta. Put it in something where you won't, like how you buy spaghetti sauce. Chop up a little fresh garlic and put it in the spaghetti sauce and then put it on the spaghetti. So it just got hitting a little harder, right? So it's hitting a little harder. Like I said, drink water. Make sure you're getting some hydration. If it's hard for you to drink water, make some lemonade. Just don't use sugar. Use maple syrup. If you're vegetarian, use honey, right? Use a little honey so you can get some water into your system, right? And eat fruit, try to get some fruit in there. Now, another thing you could do is at night, before you go to bed, get like 8 ounces of water, right? And put 1 or 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar in the water, right? Right? I don't, I just drink regular water, sparkling water. I don't know if it's worth it what they be charging me, you know. So put 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar and 8 ounces of water, right? You could do 2 tablespoons if you want to. You want to do this 30 minutes before you go to bed, right? If you experience any type of reflux or you can't sleep, add a spoon of honey in it, right? Now, don't chug it down. You know, drink it slow. And don't go to sleep right after you drink it, okay? Drink it, like I said, and stay up another 20, 30 minutes. Now, if you've been drinking a lot of liquor and stuff, don't do this. Do it on the days you haven't been drinking no alcohol, no liquor. And this apple cider vinegar will help your digestion. It'll help clean you out, and it will help you burn fat for sure. It will help you naturally burn fat. Now, it's not like you just gonna get skinny. It's not like no pill. Don't get me wrong. It's not like, oh, it's just gonna burn the fat, but it will help you when you're exercising. It will help you because it's gonna help your digestion. And the faster you get that food off your stomach, the less fattening it is. See what I'm saying? So the apple cider vinegar is a good thing to help with your digestive system. Another thing, you can go back to the old school, what my grandmother used to do and my grandfather. Eat a prune. One prune. If you eat one prune every 2 or 3 days, you're going to have great digestion. You understand? Yeah, if you do too much, it can be heartburn. That's why you only put a tablespoon and 8 ounces of water. That way, it's not a lot. Okay, you put a tablespoon and 8 ounces of water, and you drink it slow. Drink it nice and slow, so it just won't hit your stomach. Don't chug it. When you drink it slow, it gets to dissipate as you're putting it in there rather than bam. And then don't go to sleep. Stay up, 20, 30 minutes and go to sleep. If you do that 1 week, you should feel great. You should feel excellent. It's not like you're really taking apple cider vinegar straight up because by you putting in 8 ounces of water, it's more like a food. It's coming off like a food. It's coming off like the essence of a food. And a lot of people do this to help burn belly fat. So when they get up and they do the exercise and stuff, they find that the belly fat burns faster. And that people have been pushing apple cider vinegar for decades and the benefits of apple cider vinegar. And you can taste it. It's astringent. It's definitely, when you taste stuff like that, you definitely know worms don't like it. Worms don't, you got to think like a worm. Would you want hot sauce on you? It'll burn you, right? You definitely wouldn't like you wouldn't like apple cider vinegar if you was a worm. I don't think you'd like it. You sure won't like garlic. Uh-uh. You sure won't like cloves. A few weeks ago, I seen somebody say, take a clove and chew it. And so I took a clove and I chewed it. I didn't know cloves was that strong. Whoa. When you cook with them, it gets simmered down in the food, but chew one. I said, oh, can't nothing live in this. So this can't no parasite live in that. Can't nothing live in that. Ain't nobody got to tell me. I didn't know clove was that doggone strong. They say it's really good for your mouth when you chew it. You chew it and then you rinse it out and spit it out. Some people just chew it all the way up. It tastes like a bug repellent. I ain't gonna lie. And another thing with cloves, you put it in a bottle and soak them. You put it in a jar and soak it. Then you strain it into a bottle and spray it on your hair. It's supposed to be really good for your scalp. Clove water. Make your hair grow. This is what they say. It grow like crazy. A lot of women in the islands like Jamaica, Trinidad, Puerto Rico stuff, they use clove water. Africa, they use clove water. That's why they hair be growing like crazy. So that's what you do. Try to get that extra food you ate. Get that stuff off your stomach, okay? Get that stuff off your stomach. Christmas come do the same thing. If you go out and eat and enjoy yourself, always remember, if you're going to put it in, cool, but make sure it gets out in a timely manner. Get it out. Don't be letting that food sit there where you eating 3, 4 days. You only had a bowel movement once or twice. You should be having a bowel movement every day if you're eating every day, and sometimes twice a day. If not, it's sitting in there too long. Too long. So that's one of the main things with your health. Get that stuff out. Okay? So look, y'all stay positive and always remember, live life. Victory.